Hey, it's Janice from 3Fs and a W. It's been what they would classify as a hot minute since I did a video, but I want to try to compound a lot of good information in a few minutes so people won't get bored, because my videos be long as heck, because I like to get everything I need to say out. But anyway, what I want to talk about is something that I heard social media personality named Tabitha say. She was talking about apologies and how we can waste a lot of time waiting on a person or people, whatever the case may be for you in your situation, to apologize to us for something that they have done, may not have done. From a personal aspect, a lot of us have issues with parents, absentee parents, parents that chose to walk away for whatever reason. In my case, it was my dad. I would love to hear some of the cases from people who had a mother to walk away or whatever. Just to compare, and either way it goes, whichever parent walked, it's traumatizing in some way, shape, or form, even if the child was too young to remember. Once you get to a certain age and you realize that some other people still have a parent, the parent that walked away from your household, in their household, it does have some kind of effect on you. In my case, my father left when I was small. He came back for a brief moment, and then he was gone again. He got into the streets, and that's where he chose to stay. I didn't realize till I was almost 30 that his walking away and his being absent had an effect on me. It had an effect on my relationships. The person that came after him turned out to be a child molester. And, you know, I blame my dad for a lot of stuff, because if he would have done his part, even if the marriage wasn't going to work out, he should have dumped the children off. You still have that responsibility there regardless. Just like the parent that's there with the children has to continue to take on the responsibility of a parent, even though the other parent chose to leave. You choose to leave, you still are a parent. But I had relationship issues a lot because I put my dad's face, and not literally, but the behaviors, the abuse, the verbal abuse, physical abuse we had to witness with him and my mom. I put his face on men, and I got to the point where I didn't believe men really were capable of caring. They could pretend well in my mind, and then once you fell for them, they'll step all on you like you was a welcome mat. So I wasn't the nicest person in relationships. Well, you know, when I was close to 30 years old, I started realizing that him leaving was the main reason. Him leaving, the toxic relationship that was there before he left, and him just vanishing on us. I was looking for something, while at the same time not wanting it, because I didn't trust it because of him. Didn't want to get married, none of that. Because I was like, okay, my mom's here. She cooks, she cleans, she takes care of us, she does everything while he's gone to work. Then he comes home and here comes physical abuse out of nowhere for no reason. Maybe because he got mad with his girlfriend or whatever you want to call it, side piece or whatever in the streets. Here he comes in here with the fist. But anyway, I didn't trust me because of it. And I want to say out there to the fathers that have walked away, walk back. You don't, and in some instances, there are mothers out there who will use their children as a pawn in a bad game of chess or whatever game they want to play, and use that child to be manipulative towards the other parent. And that's some jacked up stuff. You need to get yourself together, females who are doing that. And then you want to tell the child that the dad is a deadbeat and no good in the future when they're old enough to understand, and taint the possibility of them even reconciling in any kind of way because you were bitter and nasty. The man don't want you no more. He just don't want you no more. Point blank, period. Move on. And vice versa. But like I said, I'm talking about fathers walking away because that was my personal experience. I waited for a long time for an apology, for him to come to me and my 5 siblings and apologize, to explain to us what happened and why he chose to abandon us. Not just walk away. Sometimes you gotta leave. The relationship is toxic. It's not good. It's not healthy. It's dangerous. It's best that you move away from them issues before you end up in prison or whatever the case may be for doing something ridiculous because you didn't want to be there. But you were never told you couldn't be in our lives. She encouraged your presence. There was never any of that hanging the children over your head, using them to manipulate, none of that. But you chose, my dad chose not to be there. And what I want to say, the main point in this is, don't spend your entire or close to your entire life waiting on an apology. You have to try to spend a lot of time forgiving and moving on, letting go and living your life, because that stuff causes problems within you that you may not realize until later on, and then it's too late after that point because you can't go back and fix the damage that you've done because of the issues and the residual from the absentee parent. And you've lost those years. You've probably drowned out some of those years with frustration and stress and depression subconsciously in some cases that you could have spent doing something much better than that. Let me tell you what ended up happening. Last year, my dad was diagnosed with cancer and given 8 months to live. As a nurse, seeing the fact that he was failing to thrive, wasn't eating and all of that, I told him he wouldn't make it then. He wouldn't make it if he couldn't eat and all of that. He wouldn't make it 8 months, and he only made it 2. But that apology I waited for, the only reason I got it was because to help me move on, I said, I forgive you for not being there. And then he apologized weeks before he died. I was 42 years old. No? Yeah. 41. I was 41. I spent a long time going through things because of this man walking away and waiting on him to apologize. In 2008, he apologized to my mother for mistreating her for no reason. But he didn't feel the need to apologize to the children. I don't understand. Do the absentee parent feel like the children don't have feelings? Or we just don't care? Or we just don't know? We know you weren't there. We know you existed, and we know you were not there when we needed you for anything. And I still, even today, it's, when you think about it, you still feel some type of way. It took for you to be on your deathbed for you to apologize to me and my siblings about your absence. My brother was almost 50 years old. Anyway, you got to think about your life, your future, happiness that you want within yourself, and that can be built so big that you just ooze happiness all around you in your life. You don't want to wait on somebody to apologize. You don't wait on it. Don't wait on it, because you waste time. Some people get an apology before the deathbed comes. And in my case, it took for me to forgive him in order for him to apologize for something he did. He walked away from us. And move on. Move on. If it comes, you know, you can rejoice or whatever when that day comes. But don't sit up there and bank your life on that person coming to apologize, because in a lot of cases, they're not going to do it. Some of them get on their deathbed and they still don't apologize because of whatever guilt or whatever they feel within themselves. They can't bring themselves to look you into your face and give you that moment that they owe you. And that's still on that person. It's not on you. You did nothing wrong. You was a child. It's not your fault that they walked away. It was something, could have been some demons they was battling from back when in their own childhood or whatever. But don't wait. Move on. Live your life. That person is living in their own misery. Don't you allow them to dictate your life in any kind of way. Come to turn, step back, look at this situation. Understand that you did nothing to cause that as a child. And focus on putting that to the back of that storage space I call your brain. And live your life. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. You haven't been blessed with nothing they wanted to do, or just decided to up and do in a good way for you all of these years. They haven't showed up for a graduation, a program, a sports event, nothing. So why are you spending your time waiting on an apology? They didn't even feel it within themselves and bring themselves to come to any of your events or any of your life changes, anything. When you was in the hospital, they didn't even come visit you. But you're sitting there waiting on them to come apologize. They can't see you when you sick. But you waiting on, you thinking they're going to have this epiphany all of a sudden and come to apologize to you. Don't wait on it. Don't wait on it. You haven't been able to depend on them to do nothing all of your life. Depending on them to bring that apology to you and trying to force them to apologize. I don't want it if it's not sincere. So anyway, live your life. You're beautiful. You're handsome, whichever the case may be. It's a lot of young men out here carrying a lot of bottled up anger and frustration from fathers that have walked away, from mothers that decided to walk away. I just saw two girls a mother left them at the daycare and never showed back up to pick them up. They ended up in foster care looking for their dad, and the man that they found turned out not to be their dad. I saw that, and that just, it sucks. And that was a mom walking away. So either way it goes, it sucks. You're tearing something away from that child when you tear yourself apart from them and just decide to disappear like Casper. So live your lives. Put it behind you. It's not your fault. That's something that person gonna have to live with. You survived all of these years without them. You can continue to survive for even longer without them, and you will. Baby, you have been divinely blessed with the strength and the tools and the ability to make it through anything. It's just that sometimes we just don't want to feel the pain and deal with it and get ourselves into a whole mess, trying to drink it away, smoke it away, whatever the case may be for people out here. I just deal with it. No pills, no drink, no smoking. Just straight. Like some people be drinking their liquor or whatever. Just straight, honey. It sucks. Probably got a couple of gray strands of hair because of it, but it is what it is. Live your life. Let that parent gonna have to be judged for that. You don't. But you will be judged for the way that you treat other people. So do not allow that parent's issues to dictate how you treat other people and how you treat yourself.